by bodyguards and wearing the white kufi of his newfound Muslim faith, Mike Tyson emerged from 1,095 days of prison to the eyes of the world.
There's been a lot of speculation about my plan, and here they are. I will fight again, and I want to confirm John Horn and Rory Holloway as my managers.
You know, he got a clear picture of what's going on out here before he got out here.
And more than anything, I think Mike is appreciative of the fans and the people that stuck behind him through this whole ordeal.
I also will confirm that Don King will continue to promote my fight.
A credible situation comes where a fighter comes like a Mike Tyson that brings new enthusiasm, new excitement to the ring. So they've all been awaiting his return. Now he's out here. All the prognostication, speculation now will become reality.
I don't allow the hype to affect me anymore. I just want to do well. My main objective is to do well.
Here in the farmlands of northern Ohio, in this secluded training camp, Mike Tyson is preparing for his return to the ring against Hurricane Peter McNeeley. Hi, I'm Steve Albert. It's been only 4 months since Tyson was released from an Indiana State penitentiary. But as he prepares for this first step on the road back to the ring, and back, he hopes, to the heavyweight championship of the world, the public's interest and the media's fascination with Tyson has turned his every public appearance into a bewildering circus of confusion, commotion, and excitement.
Tyson himself said nothing publicly, bodyguards shielding him from view at every stop. He only released this statement, saying he was happy to be going home.
I just deal with life the way it's thrown at me. You know what I mean? I want to be a private person, but how am I going to really be private?
Allow me to introduce a young man who cares about his people, one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, and now is going back to recapture the heavyweight crown. Our son, our brother, our friend, Mike Tyson, you know, our future, Mike Tyson.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure being here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm a little nervous, but I look forward to the fight, and I look forward to putting on a good show. So whatever is thrown at me, I just handle it and take it.
We want these young people to know, if you fall down or knock down, you don't have to lay down, get back up, and keep on going.
And the fact that there's powers to be that don't want you out here, that don't want me to relate to you, and I just knew we beat them anyway with guards on our side. To be honest, how am I going to be private? If I go to a club, it's in the paper. If I buy a car, it's in the paper. If I kiss my girlfriend, it's in the paper. So really, how am I going to be private?
How's Mike reacting to all the media attention, if you like, being back in the spotlight?
Never left. Never left. He's been watching you guys very closely out there. As a matter of fact, for the first time, he's been able to sit back and really watch what's going on around him. You know, before he was living in the fray every day. It's hard to look at things when you're right in the middle of the mix.
I mean, I've been accustomed for at least 12 years, 11 years of this. But, you know, I mean, some people enjoy their privacy.
You know, you've had a lot of time to think, obviously, in the last 4 years. How would you like to write Chapter 2 for Mike Tyson?
Well, I'm not Nostradamus or anybody, but I just want to do well, you know what I mean? I have things that I want to accomplish in my life as a person, but as far as my career, I want to do well.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mike Tyson, Mr. Don King, and other distinguished guests. Thank you, Mike, for coming to our Children's Foundation. I really and truly believe that you will become a positive role model, and may God bless you as you go out into this world to begin your fighting career once again as a champion. It really comes from my heart. By me helping you, that means nothing, me giving you money or anything, because you're all winners right here, and you can accomplish anything you want. We have these cameras here, and we have the publicity here. I just want you to know I did it from my heart and not for these people. Thank you very much. I don't give anything. I just give
the most I can give. Eventually I'll be old and dead and I won't have to worry about what anybody say or think about me.
There are those who take more than just the sporting Mike Tyson. What Mike Tyson?
But shall we penalize Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
Will he be the Mike Tyson that everyone thinks he is?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Tyson.
Tyson. Period.
I don't know, I'm just a man.
Now, far from the pressures and distractions of stardom, Tyson has sequestered himself in this isolated environment to prepare for what many believe is the most important fight of his career. Yet despite Tyson's reluctance for publicity and insistence on privacy, we were allowed onto the grounds and into his training camp. That's coming up next on Tyson versus McNeeley, the road back.
I think fighting is the best sport in the history of the world. And I never thought I wanted to do anything else. I just never really actually wanted to do anything else.
Will he be the same fighter? Will he still have that rage, that fire in his eyes? Will he still strike fear in the hearts of his opponents? Will he be as ferocious and as savage as ever? But most of all, will he be the Mike Tyson of old? Or will he be better? The return of Mike Tyson. Tyson versus McNeeley, August 19th. Live on pay-per-view. It's the boxing event of the year. Call your cable company.
Hello again, I'm Steve Albert, and welcome back to Tyson versus McNeeley, the road back. It has been over 4 years since former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson won his last fight, a convincing 12-round decision over the hard-hitting and resilient Razor Ruddock. But now, here in these tranquil farmlands of northern Ohio, as he prepares for his long-awaited comeback, he is eager to return to the ring and to his beloved sport of boxing.
I think fighting is the best sport in the history of the world. And I never thought I wanted to do anything else. I just never really actually wanted to do anything else. Some people have the desire to fight, but don't have the desire to train, but the two come hand in hand. You can't do one without the other.
Now, after his long and forced layoff, Tyson is back in the gym, training diligently. Working out religiously.
Right now he's working on new things, he's working on old things. He's just trying to get it all back together, almost like a learning process again. Psychologically, it just was a matter of just getting his confidence back, getting back in the ring, not being able to throw a punch at someone for 4 years, not being able to fight someone with hand-to-hand combat for 4 years. So I believe it's a mental factor involved. You know, it's kind of taking confidence. Do I still got the power? Do I still got the speed? You know what I mean? But to me, to us, all the questions have been answered.
Nice snap. That's because you shifted your weight into it that time. It's good. Now, Mike and I grew up in the Catskills with the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato.
Springer.
And what Cus taught was that as you throw a punch, you're actually covered or moving. So you're actually suckering the other guy into throwing a punch a lot of times. It's both offensive and defensive.
Obviously, they wanted someone that could bring Mike back after such a layoff. And when I, of course, met him, he was up about, I guess, 240, 242. And over the period of training now, and proper diet and nutrition, of course, he's down to about his fight weight, which is about 224, 225. And if you look at him, his muscularity is far more superb than it's ever been.
I don't know if I enjoy it. I just do it.
know, you do it, sometimes you get tired, your arms get a little tight, but you just know it fades as time goes on. You just continue to do it. My advantage is that I'm accustomed to it. I started from scratch and I put in my dudes, and I know when I feel that pain, I know it's just going to pass in a matter of time.
I think my favorite part of the whole job is the day of the fight when Mike said, coming down the stairs, let's go. Going to the ring. That's the favorite part. You know what I mean? Because you know you did everything you're supposed to do. You know, you got your miles in, you got your rounds in. That's the greatest feeling in the world. Nothing like it in the world.
Despite the rigorous workout schedule and vigorous training, some wonder if Tyson can regain the form, the fire, and the ferocity that made him one of the greatest fighters of our generation. And they ask, will he be the one to rejuvenate the sport and replenish the public's interest in the heavyweight division?
I think that I'm an ace in the hole when it comes to the heavyweight division because I believe I'm the best fighter. You know, but there's good fighters out there, and I don't know why they don't unify the title. If they truly believe they're the best, they all say that they're the best. But if you truly believe you're the best, you should be willing to fight everybody. You can't truly believe in your heart you're the best and avoid fighting people.
But in order for Tyson to once again win the title and unify the heavyweight division, he must now, at the age of 29, re-enter the ring and beat the very determined Peter McNeeley.
I just feel more relaxed and more seasoned as a professional, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm hungry, and I'm looking forward to entering the ring.
And his fans from Harlem to Hollywood are also looking forward to his entrance into the ring and his efforts to climb back to the top of boxing's most glamorous division.
I just like to get it on. I'm just going to win dramatically.
In order for Tyson to win the fight dramatically and successfully accomplish his first step on the road back, he must beat a fighter who has nothing to lose and everything to win. We'll meet him when we return to Tyson versus McNeeley, the road back.
How am I an easy opponent with a 36-1 record with 30 knockouts, ranked number 9 in the world? I think they picked a very tough opponent, but they don't realize how tough I am.
Peter McNeeley has won 36 of his 37 fights, 30 by knockout. His last 8 fights all ended in the first round. Still, the so-called boxing experts say McNeeley won't beat this man, but they said the same thing about Buster Douglas. Tyson versus McNeeley, August 19th, live on pay-per-view. It's the boxing event of the year. Call your cable company. You've waited 4 years for this. The fighter of the decade. The boxing event of the year. On August 19th, guess who's back? The return of Mike Tyson. Tyson versus McNeeley, August 19th, live on pay-per-view. It's the boxing event of the year. Call your cable company.
Halfway across the country from these farmlands here in Orwell, Ohio, another fighter trains for this bout just as diligently, just as rigorously as Tyson. He is, of course, the enigmatic Peter McNeeley. While a mystery to everyone but the most hardcore boxing fan, the very confident McNeeley, with his curious boxing background, is now being thrust under the harsh spotlight of public scrutiny. Who is he, and why does he deserve this opportunity? To find out, we travel to his home in an affluent suburb of Boston, Massachusetts.
I'm a lot of things that a lot of today's typical fighters are not. I'm a white, college-educated kid from a suburban, upper-middle-class, wealthy community.
Despite his plush surroundings, McNeeley was born into a very tough and very successful boxing family.
I grew up in a tough family, and you know, being a third-generation fighter, I was always after the dream of becoming a pro fighter. I fed the faith and starved the doubt for so long that I always knew that fate and destiny would get me to this point.
McNeeley's grandfather was a national amateur champion and a member of the 1928 Olympic team. And his father, a well-respected pro who once fought Floyd Patterson for the heavyweight title.
I was kind of feeling sorry for him at the time, because when I beat him, what he was going to do after that, because boxing was his whole life. I really, you know, felt kind of sorry for the guy. Of course, it didn't turn out that way. His speed, experience was just unbelievable. I was down 13 times. He was down once.
Despite his father's setback, McNeeley grew up wanting to be a fighter.
When I crawled up in the attic between the ages of, say, 5 and 7 and found my dad on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I knew right from that moment of what I was going to be in life.
After attending Bridgewater State College, majoring in political science rather than the sweet science, McNeeley entered the rough and tumble world of New England boxing, fighting in local racetracks, armories, and dog tracks.
Most all of my fights, I was given tickets ahead of time. You know, I had to go out and do my own promotions. I had to go out and hang my own posters, sell my own tickets, do radio interviews to pump up these fights, sell the tickets.
But fighting 37 times in 44 months, Hurricane McNeeley has become one of boxing's busiest heavyweights, using his aggressive whirlwind style to storm through his opposition, winning 36 fights, 30 by knockout. 20 of them in the first round.
I like to describe my style as controlled fury, controlled brawling, technical brawling. I find myself right at home on the inside there with banging to the body and to the head.
Now, with the announcement of his fight with Mike Tyson, McNeeley no longer has to sell his own tickets or hang his own posters. But under the bright, unrelenting glare of the world media, he is bewildered by those who claim he is an easy opponent for the former champ.
How am I an easy opponent with a 36-1 record with 30 knockouts, ranked number 9 in the world? I think they picked a very tough opponent, but they don't realize how tough I am. He hasn't done anything in his layoff, and I've had 37 pro fights, so I'm pretty sharp right now, and I think he's the one with the doubts in his head and confidence problems, and he's the one that's got something to prove, not me. I'm gonna go right at him. I'm gonna crash right into him. And we're going to go nose to nose, head to head, mano a mano. We're going to bang each other in the head and body. Big uppercuts, body shots, left hooks. I've always been a winner. I've always been taught to be a winner. And I'm going to come to this fight a winner.
Coming up next, final words and parting shots on Tyson versus McNeeley. The road back.
I think Mike Tyson's going to do very, very well.
I think he's going to be great. I think he's one of the greatest boxers of all time. He's one of the best technicians, the best everything. And I think that clearly if he has been able to be focused, which he would have had to have been, and clearly has the heart to want to come back, which I think he does, then I think he's going to fight an amazing fight.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. He's certainly going to be pissed.
I'd be curious to see myself. I mean, I think he might have matured in a lot of ways, maybe that you and I can't understand. I think fighter's life is a pretty tough life.
You know, I think Mike Tyson's going to win that fight. Mike, you know, he's been out for a while, but, you know, I think it may even be just like riding a bike.
I think he's going to kick some ass when he comes out for sure. And, you know, I wouldn't fight him.
You know the name. You know the power. You know the fury. Now he's back. And he's ready to rock the ring in the boxing event of the decade. Tyson versus McNeeley at the MGM Grand. Now you can be a part of this awesome event and own a piece of boxing history. Call now and order your fight merchandise commemorating the return of Mike Tyson. You can order the cap, t-shirt, or an authentic fight program. Call 1-800-33-TYSON now and your official fight merchandise will be delivered directly to your door. Make the call now, 1-800-33-TYSON. No matter who or where you are, you can experience the return of Mike Tyson. This commemorative cap, t-shirt, and fight program can be purchased separately or get all three in one spectacular knockout pack to score big savings for just $44.95. Don't wait. Have your credit card ready and call now, 1-800-33-TYSON, or mail your check or money order to own your piece of boxing history.
Welcome back to Tyson versus McNeeley, the road back. Tyson was the youngest fighter to win a World Heavyweight Championship and the last to unify the title. And now, after a 4-year layoff, he returns to the ring, eager to reclaim former glories and accomplish new goals. It is an event no boxing fan or sports fan should miss.
I still sometimes have the vigorous, ferocious feeling to attack, and I enjoy that. And I guess just sometimes you just want that competition. And when you feel right, you just forget, come on, bring that guy. I want to see, even though you just win, lose, you say, I just want to see what I got to go against this guy. See, can I do it?
Yet, Peter McNeeley has become the first hurdle in Tyson's comeback road. Seemingly unfazed by all of the hoopla surrounding this fight and unintimidated by Tyson's reputation, McNeeley wants to prove to the world and to himself he is a worthy opponent for the former champion.
I seen he really hitting him hard in that first round with these little gloves on. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to see what I'm all about. We're going to see what he's all about from the get-go. And that's what's going to happen on August 19th. We're both going to be right in each other's face. Nobody's going to have to look for either one.
That's why I want to get someone that's capable and qualified, that's a bully-like character as Peter McNeeley. A scientific boxer, this one and that one would not make the day. A guy that's going in at a brawl, that's going to really bring out the essence, vintage Mike Tyson. So you, the viewer, will get an opportunity this time to get a great show.
Don't miss Mike Tyson's long-awaited return to the ring as he takes on Hurricane Peter McNeeley. Plus, on that card, you'll see 3 more bouts, each a world championship fight. In the heavyweight division, the recently crowned WBA champion, Bruce Seldon, will be making his first title defense against number 4 ranked contender, Joe Hipp. In the middleweight division, hard-hitting 3-time world champion Julian Jackson will be defending his newly won WBC title against knockout artist Quincy Taylor. And in the 135-pound weight class, one of boxing's best, undefeated Miguel Angel Gonzalez will be making his 10th title defense against Lamar Murphy. It's Tyson versus McNeeley, plus 3 world title bouts, and you can see it live on pay-per-view. I'm Steve Albert, and thanks for watching.